Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a game for you between Havoc as our British, and his opponent today is going to be QOQ as our Wehrmacht. Map today is going to be Twin Beaches. They made a very slight change to this map, reduced the fuel income of these 3 fuel points from 10 to 8. Basically to lower the disparity if one player has control over the points, better control over the points long term. They left the guaranteed fuel points intact, so kind of like that change, right? It leads to less big swings because of fuel advantage, while still keeping the concept of fuel advantage intact.
An infantry section of Tommies has been trained.
So yeah, this is part 2 in my series of finding players I haven't cast in ages. I have cast a few games of QOQ, but they haven't made it onto my channel, and I'm hoping that this one will. Because I like casting players of all ELOs, but I feel like, you know, what I put on my channel needs to be interesting for one reason or another, whether that's cool builds, or cool plays, or cool decision making, you know, whatever it is. There's got to be something that, you know, pulls me into a game. It can't just be, you know, first of all, it can't be a stomp, because those aren't very interesting to watch, and it also, you know, not going to just always put up stock standard games when I can avoid it. So fairly standard opening for both players. Double Pioneer into double Grenadier for our German player. And our British player has gone for no set. He's only gone for the one Royal Engineer and gone into infantry sections afterwards. This build gives you a bit more fighting power to start the game, but at the expense of capturing power, and we're kind of seeing that play out on the bottom side of this map, right? German is going to end up with more territory control, but our British player has his fair share of the fuel, at least for right now. And a third Grenadier on the way. So my hypothesis that players would be building fewer Grenadiers or being less reliant on Grenadiers has not come to fruition. You know, they improved Jaeger's anti-infantry effectiveness while also nerfing Jaegers slightly. And then they buffed the heck out of Grenadiers, so I felt like the elite infantry for Wehrmacht was in a pretty good place this patch, but folks definitely not agreeing with me, at least at the high level. Still choosing to build lots of Grenadiers rather than heavy machine guns or elite infantry. British player recognizing the plethora of Grenadiers on the field right now, adding on a heavy machine gun to deal with it. That's a fine decision instead of a 4th infantry section. We'll see what he wants to do after that. I feel like Umber Armored Car is the pretty standard choice. See what our German player wants to do. Gonna go for a heavy machine gun now. I think that's also a fine choice for the same reason. Deal with the plethora of infantry on the field. And just some skirmishes going down. Both players trying to trade this central fuel point back and forth. And currently denying, the German player has successfully denied this fuel income to his opponent, so going to be equal for right now. But infantry sections continuing to roll into the area, and just going to continue the skirmish. Heavy machine gun on the scene as well. Going to get a nice angle on the side of these Grenadiers, get that suppression off. And looks like he's going to focus fire this Pioneer next. And that Pioneer's in a little bit of danger there. Going to get focused down by that infantry section, but looks like these guys not focusing, so Pioneers are going to escape. Heavy machine gun going to set up here and drive back all of these infantry sections. So both players coming out very even there. That said, both players going to trade on this bottom side. This game's weird. It's been so even across the board. British player currently control of the victory points, but very, very early here, so no real advantage built up. Grenadiers fighting at long range, but that Vickers doing a number on them. Gonna drive them back there. Infantry section with a single unit left. Did not envision of this heavy machine gun. Just barely out of vision there, I'm sure. So nice little capture here. And weird game. Weird game start. I mean, standard, but weird. Like both players coming out very even. Humber armored car on the way next. Is our British player or German player? Yeah, he's gone for Panzer Grenadier Company there. So we'll see if he's going to want to add on these Panzer Grenadiers. They, of course, saw a buff last patch, increasing their accuracy at multiple veterancy levels. Actually, I don't know how to read this patch note. Let me just quickly pull it up while I'm talking about it. Vet 1 received accuracy increased. Huh. I mean, received accuracy makes me think that's like making them harder to hit. But why would that be a Vet 1 bone? I don't know. I'll if we build Panzer Grenadiers, I'll take a look at it with you guys. In any case, they definitely got a weapon accuracy increase at Vet 3. So the longer you keep them alive, the better they get. But it is going to be a 251 here. So that's an interesting choice. Does combo with this raid package a little bit, right? Allows that unit to capture territory. See if he wants to go for a Stummel. He does know the Humber armored car is out. Stummel does okay against Humber armored car. Does pretty well against infantry. But he could also just use it to reinforce his units on the field. We shall see. British player being allowed to build up a little bit of a victory point lead here, as both our players are rather focused on fuel, which makes sense, of course. Humber armor car moving down to drive away these grenadiers. German player immediately opting for that Stummel upgrade. And gonna get in a scuffle with this recce package infantry section up here. And yeah. So, it's been a, I've seen a mix of decision-making with infantry sections. The recce package is still popular, but it's not popular for use of flares or artillery observer barrage. Despite the fact that I think both are still good, you just see it's just about that cheap DPS upgrade. Ooh, nice connection from that Stummel on the Humber armored car, gonna drive him back. Heavy machine gun setting up on this infantry section. Barrage gonna come down, drive back that heavy machine gun, getting a good connection there. And does look like the German is going to hold his ground here, hold on to that fuel, which he desperately needs. These Grenadiers in a really bad position here, going to have to take a really bad retreat path. Humber armor car looks like it's going to get on the chase. But 251 moving down here to try and save the day, potentially. Nope, not moving down. Humber armor car going to continue the chase, and I do think these are dead Grenadiers. But only if the Humber armored car is willing to chase into the base here. Is going to chase into the base car. Here comes the Stummel from behind. This could be a dead car. But it does look like it's going to be a dead Grenadier. Nice pickup there, but dead Humber armored car. With that blinding shot sealing the deal. And yeah, British player going to take control of both field points on the bottom side, it looks like here. I mean, both players doing an excellent job controlling the pace of fuel income for each other here. I think that's really, really important. And well done, but here come... What the heck is that? That's a infantry. That's a Royal Engineer in behind there with minesweepers. Grenadiers once again on a bad retreat path, but should make it out this time, no problem. And both armies very focused on this bottom side. We do see an AT gun added on for our German player, and I was about to say that's a mistake, but then I saw this Humber armored car get queued up. So AT gun's still going to be valuable here. I mean, AT guns are valuable any time of the day, right? If your opponent's got tanks, you want AT guns, but if you can build something else in the meantime to fight more effectively against infantry before they have vehicles on the field, generally that's what you want. But actually using this AT gun to capture territory, lovely to see that. Heavy machine gun even helping with the capture, and smoke coming out from the Stummel. Taking advantage of his raid package here to capture this fuel point. Humber armor car on the scene, flare going out to see over the smoke there. Humber armor car going to close the gap with a Stummel. Could be a dead Stummel. Grenadiers coming down to snare here. And that's got to be a dead. Does he have grenades? Havoc does not have grenades. The Stummel's going to live. Nicely done. Blinding shot, saving the Stummel. Grenadiers screening with the snares here. AT gun moving into position to try and deal with the Humber armor car. Doesn't know where it is. Stumel still running for his life. Rail engineer went down there. I'm not sure who it went down to. Smoke grenade's going to cover up that AT gun. AT gun attacking ground. And we're going to see him turn and attack ground again. Now the Humber armor car can't see this. Attack ground not connecting. Snare from those Panzerfaust not going to happen. Grenadiers coming up. Oh my god, the Humber armor car looks like it's barely going to sneak through here. And this game has been so much fun. Both players trying cheeky little plays, and not enough in it. Now these Pioneers have spent this entire time sweeping through this top side, and interestingly enough, not going to finish the capture there. Very risky capture, of course, and a very risky retreat path. So if that Humber armor car came up here, those Pioneers would be donezo. So not surprised he's going to early retreat, but did manage to deny this fuel, so well done there. German player has picked up the Stug assault group, called it in now. That's going to be very difficult for our British player to deal with. Also has the mobile repair stations from those 250s. That's not an upgrade you see very often. We'll see if he makes use of that. And for those of you that don't know, let me just pop that open here, show you what that's about. So the 251s and the 221s can repair nearby vehicles. So that pretty clearly was the intention of this build, which is not something you see very often. That's why he added on that 251 Stumel. Very cool. Stug actually barraging this barracks here. AT grenades on the way. Stug just going to walk into the base here. There is a 6-pounder in the queue, but this Stug is going to be danger close when the 6-pounder pops out. Artillery barrage going down. Looks like up on that field point. AT gun backing away from the Stug here. British player didn't see it from the looks of it. British player is going to look like he's going to win that top fight, although he doesn't quite have his territory connected there. 6-pounder getting at least one shot. Not going to get a second because of sight blocker there. Staastruppen just covering the retreat, and we're going to see a mobile repair station used, potentially. Not going to happen. Humber armor car going to have to respect this Stug as well. This barracks may go down here. We do need another 6-pounder out. Looks like he is going to save up for that now. Heavy machine gun on a bad retreat path past the Staastruppen, but Humber armor car covering here. Stumel getting a great connection. AT gun moving up. And British player trapped in his base in a really big way here. I think we're seeing the unit attrition coming in here, where our British players lost a Humber armored car and a Royal Engineer, and choosing to rebuild the Humber armored car and rebuild the Engineer is hurting him right now, I would say. And that's a dead barracks, which is going to have to be replaced from the looks of it. British player is moving into this bottom side. Looks like he's trying to get a flank on the AT gun. Should happen, but not before the barracks goes down there. And nice pickup by our German. That's gonna play a big. That's gonna tell the story of this game for sure. But just look at that map control from our German. Holy cow! He's controlling everything, and the stuff he doesn't control is cut off from his opponent. So, literally, 0 munitions income for our British player right now. Grenade going to get popped there. Not going to pick up the Staastruppen, is going to drive them back. Grenadiers slowing down this push a little bit. Infantry section driven back by heavy machine gun Grenadier combo. And a second AT gun on the way for our British player. I think that's just what the doctor ordered, as we are seeing a second Stug assault group called in here. Staastruppen plus Stug D, very powerful combo, and very good against what our British player has on the field right now. And given this fuel advantage, I mean, look at that fuel income difference. Look at the bank of fuel our German has built up here. Stug is trying to chase this 6-pounder down, and unfortunately for our British player, has no AT grenades again. Has been completely denied on fuel income here. Humber armor car in behind the Stug. but not a place they want to be. We do see a pack going down there. Not sure where that happened. Looks like it was right there. Stug once again chasing the 6-pounder. We do see the second 6-pounder set up. Does have an angle there. And it's going to get some rear armor shots. And this Stug's in a really bad place. Is going to get one more shot. No, losing line of sight there. Once again, heavy infantry sections moving in, but don't have freaking AT grenades because he has no fuel, no munitions income. What a disaster. So really well executed by our German player here. I mean, he is pushing his advantage to the max, keeping his opponent all the way in his base. Got the triple cap here. Fast bleed coming in for the British. 6-pounders doing a number on the side armor of that Stug. And a nice little Humber Armor Car block here. Ability here, going to mark these units. Make them take increased damage. 6-pounders moving up, getting more side armor hits on that Stug. Still going to limp away there. Royal Engineers beating those Grenadiers with the help of the Humber Armor Car. And wow. Where's the 251? I want to see him repair. He's using him to capture. That's just lovely. I don't know that I've seen a game with a 251 that's running around capturing stuff. That's hilarious. Vickers trying to drive back these Stoßtruppen. Having a rough go of it there. And what's next? Stimmel gonna smoke out here. I mean, German can just tech up here. That's probably what's next. Ooh, double 6-pounder finding the Stummel. That's a little bit aggressive from that Stummel, blocking off the heavy machine gun. In a weird position there. We're going to see an artillery barrage letting the British player move out of his base a little bit here. But Stoßtruppen holding it down. Grenade going to get a decent connection. We do see that our British player has locked in the Canadian shock battle group and actually called in some Canadians here. But we're also seeing those incendiary munitions from the grenades doing pretty decent damage. I think this is going to be the third game in a row that I've cast with Canadians on my channel. First was my game, the 500 subscriber special, so if you're interested in a dumpster fire, definitely recommend checking out that game. 6-pounders moving up to push away this Stug. And gonna be a big old brawl here in the middle. Stoßtruppen ready for this push. Gonna totally wreck there. Pack gun connecting with the Humber Armor Car. We're seeing down the marked targets thrown down as well, making them way more effective. No attack round from this pack. And there's fights happening in multiple places right now. Stug moving into this bottom side. 6-pounders could rotate to face, but Stug, knowing that's gonna happen, gonna back away there. And Canadians on this top side. He's got the discounted munitions, so he can throw grenades for free while that ability is active. Oh my god, gonna trade grenades here. And neither player connecting. Canadian's gonna give up the position. So, I mean, well done by Havoc here to stay in this game. I mean, he was in a really, really bad place there. He's still in a bad place, but at least he's stabilized, right? He's got his guaranteed resources coming in. He's got his fuel point on this bottom side. He's slowed the bleeding with the victory point. So, I feel like his composition is reasonable against what he's up against. Picking up the Stummel was a big deal. Has built himself up a bank of fuel. Does feel like we're going to see him go for the Crocodile here, because I don't think he's going to be able to stabilize well enough on what he has right now, and a Crocodile is going to do tremendous work against these veteran infantry from his opponent. It's also going to do well against the Stugs. I think we're going to see our German player save up for his tanks as well, so he's going to end up with Panthers here, and Panthers, of course, do just fine against Crocodiles. But with 6-pounders, I think it's anybody's game.
The enemy is down to 100 points.
But as we just heard announced, the British player is down to 100 points here, so desperately needs to turn that around. I'm wondering how he's going to approach that, right? I mean, he's got two options. One is to go for this beach cutoff, this beach point here, or to go for that top side. Both are going to be very challenging. Humber Armor Car continuing to use the Mark Targets ability. And I don't remember what it's called, so I'm going to quickly look. 6-pounders connecting with the Stummel here. And actually both, or with the Stug, I should say. Stug getting very aggressive. Going to get one more shot. We do see it pop smoke. Does have an angle. But the attack round not going to happen. Pack gun from the top side connecting. Where was that pack gun? Here he was. Getting a good shot on the Humber Armor Car, so both players going to limp away there.
Got 75 points remaining.
Grenadiers moving to this top side to keep him hemmed in his base. Not going to let him pick up that second victory point. Looks like the Canadians wanted to try it, but thinking better of it there. And yeah, dire situation here for our British player. Needs to turn it around right this second. You know, you'd think I'd know what the income... You'd think I would know exactly what the tick rate is, and maybe I should look that up after this game. But ticking down pretty quick here. Feels like 1 or 2 minutes on the clock until he turns that around. Canadian's going to pick up the munitions, but that is not what matters here. Infantry section moving up. There's only one grenadier in their way, so that could happen. Heavy machine gun, AT guns also moving to the top side, while the German moves to the bottom side. Going to see if he can pick up this victory point, and it does look like he's going to be able to. So, yeah. The chokehold continues. Canadian's going to move up. AT gun's going to move down. Is going to be a pincer here on this position. Pack gun in the area, ready to help out against the Humber Armored Car. British player still saving up for the Crocodile. But nice little flank by these Canadians, closing the gap here. Getting on top of that AT gun. Not going to throw a Gammon Bomb. Are going to be suppressed by a heavy machine gun. Stosstroop pushing in with the help of those Grenadiers. Heavy machine gun going to suppress. Stosstroop going to push away the... Or excuse me, Humber Armor Car pushing away the Stoss. Pack gun trying to help out at maximum range. Infantry section at low health here going to have to move in. Churchill, Crocodile called in. So... does have control of one of the victory points, is going to decap this bottom side. Probably not going to take hold of it as these Grenadiers move into position. Pack gun going to continue to help out. Mark target coming down. Humber Armor Car got to bail out right now. Infantry section also got to bail. He's choosing to stand on the point to not lose it for as long as possible. Royal Engineers going to stop this decap once again. Going to do pretty well against these Grenadiers here. AT guns moving up to push back the Stug. And looks like he's going to hold on here. Crocodile moving in as well. And this is going to be a full retreat from our German player here as this Crocodile hits the field. Actually getting decent connections against the Stug there. No more shots going to come down. Stug backing up there. And even one of these Stugs going down could be a really big deal here. Where our British player is going to find him there at maximum range with the low health Canadian spotting. That's fantastic. Crocodile unfortunately finding a mine. Royal Engineers moving up to repair the damage. So British player holding on by a thread. Grenadiers moving into this top side. Low health, going to pick up that point. Infantry section trying to slow it down. Crocodile out of commission for a little bit here. Here comes the low health Humber Armored Car. Look at how, like, oh my god, just severely damaged units all over the place. Grenadiers not going to finish that capture. Maybe a misclick, potentially, but that's okay. Is going to correct it now. And Crocodile going to move into position, but here's a Panther. And, oh man, Minesweeper's barely seeing that mine at the last possible section. Pack gun getting involved here. Flamethrowers from this Crocodile going to debuff this Panther, slow him down. 6-pounders. Getting a side shot there, connecting through the armor. Panther going to pop smoke and back off, so both players forced to limp away from each other. Low health Canadians picking up this bottom side point at the last possible second. 19 victory points on the counter there. And pack gun bouncing off the front armor of that Crocodile. 6-pounders moving in. What a ridiculous fight. I cannot believe our British player is still in this game. He has gotten his act together with absolutely no time on the clock. Crocodile finding these retreating Grenadiers. One shot, maybe? Not going to connect. 6-pounder's going to push back the Stug. Panther still being repaired up on that top side, so not in position to help out. British player pushing hard on this beach victory point. He needs it right this second. Cannot let his opponent pick that up. Slowing down here. Stas trooping covering. Stug helping out. AT guns moving up as well. And a phosphorus grenade gonna block line of sight here. But here comes the crocodile burning that Stas trooping. Not gonna finish, or is gonna finish the capture. Not gonna lose the Stas trooping. Grenadier's gonna slow this down here. Here comes the Panther, though, on the side armor. That Crocodile 6-pounders are ready for this. Crocodile going to poke his head out. And that's a dead Crocodile. Panther is going to pick him up here for sure. AT guns actually doing great damage against the Panther here. Can we see an AT grenade? We are going to see one. Is that a dead Panther? Oh my god, trading heavy tanks there. Definitely going to favor the German player, but both players have a decent amount of fuel built up here. So it is possible we see that added back on, but with 5 victory points to go, infantry section desperately trying to decapture this point. Does look like he's going to stop the capture from happening. Oh, moving out of the zone. Is going to finish it. Oh my god, 1 point on the victory points there. 6-pounders still helping out against this Stug, but Stas Troop and Grenadier are going to shred that infantry section. Second infantry section in the area. Stug pushed back by the 6-pounders, but no way that our British player can hold this for very long. And actually, Grenadiers focusing those 6-pounders, going to move them back off the point so the Stug can come help out once again. Oh, the Stug went down? Oh my god, dude. What a game this is. British players snagging that top victory point while this is happening. So, Canadians and heavy machine gun moving into positions. Just been a trickle of units here. Grenade going to eat that heavy machine gun. But Stas Troop, oh no, infantry section going down. Canadians helping out, Grenadiers on the retreat. Not going to pick them up. And what a freaking bloodbath. I think we saw a heavy machine gun stolen here. Humber armored car worth its weight in gold here. German player says, screw this bottom side, I'm going to move into the top side with a huge freaking blob. Royal Engineers planting a mine in the worst possible time. Heavy machine gun going to suppress everybody. Mills bomb from those Royal Engineers. Burning that group. Huge. Oh my god. Are British players in this game? Are you joking me? Okay. Okay. Let's calm down here. British player is going for a Crocodile again. German player probably looking at another Panther here. 400 fuel built up for him. Wow. So, I don't know. Things looking really good for our British player at right exactly this second, but he cannot make even a single mistake, right? He has to sit on the victory points for the rest of the game. The German player has plenty of infantry still on the field. Crocodile is going to be scary, and actually not going for a Crocodile, going for a company command post here. Interesting. I think that might have been a mistake. Nice grenade by that infantry section. Going to burn those Grenadiers. And here comes an base artillery barrage connecting really well against the Grenadiers. Are they going to go down? Nobody focusing them. And are going to barely make it out of there. Stas Troop and trying to pick up the infantry section on its way out. Humber armored car still severely damaged. Plucking away here. Doesn't want to lose those units. And it's interesting to me that our German player's even paying attention to fuel at all here. I guess he doesn't know what his opponent's fuel income looks like. Canadians walking through their own fire here. This is total chaos. Both players being pushed to their limit on multitasking. Stas Troop and driven back. Pack gun not going to help out against the Humber armored car. Mines being found out by those Royal Engineers. And, oh, Pack gun going to pick up the Humber armored car. That's a big, big loss here. Pioneer's going to grab this victory point. Heavy machine gun forced back by a grenade. And I think that might be the end of the game here. We're going to see our German player pick up 2 of the victory points here and tick off that last point. Crusader on the way now, but too little, too late, I think. Heavy machine guns still holding down this top side. But yeah, no infantry in the area. Oh man, might make it. Pioneers not going to finish that capture. Oh man, barely going to finish the capture. That's game over there. Wow. Lovely, lovely game. What a crazy game that was. It's amazing to me that Havoc held on as long as he did. Let me throw their elos here up on the screen. Yeah. So, about 100 elo disparity there. But at this high level, I think we could see just how even that was. Hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I will see you in the next video.